What I would urge every young conservative to do is to stand up, speak out yourself, use new media, use Facebook, use Twitter, put together internet videos, communicate to your peers that free market values have produced the most opportunity and prosperity in any nation in history, and you can communicate that better than any politician. We've had 4 consecutive years of less than 1% growth in our economy on average, and the people who are hurt the most on that are young people, are the people coming out of school looking for a job.
Some of you may have been enthralled by the Ramones at one time in your life. Others may have been devotees of Patti Smith and her somewhat interesting take on music and fashion. Others may have found tonal solace in their contemporaries, some of whom have names you can't even repeat in polite company. Punk rock was the stone somebody tossed through the window of standard rock and roll and shook up the industry with a reverb that lasts to this day. Now, take that idea into politics, and you have conservative insurgency, the struggle to take America back 2009, 2041, and the author who says conservatism is the new punk rock. Kurt Schlichter joins us right now on MidPoint. Kurt, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, Kurt, so you're not actually telling us that what's going to happen is we'll find young conservatives now going out for a lot of black paint, putting something in their nose, for instance, or really wearing bad Patti Smith shirts or anything, right? We're not going that far.
Oh, I don't know. We've got some goth and emo conservatives out there. There are a bunch of conservatives who dig Joy Division, some kind of like the Sex Pistols. Look, you know, there's no one kind of conservative anymore. It's not a whole bunch of guys in the sports jackets and bow ties. Some of us are that, and that's cool. Some of us are something very different.
But that doesn't fit with the mold of what conservatives are seen, because what you're saying right now is almost revolutionary in many ways, because the media, the general public, sees conservatives as button-down, white-shirt guys, basically older. They don't see them as younger. The youngers are always seen as liberals. So explain to us then how that difference works and where you're going with this.
Well, you know, you were so right in your introduction. The people who are being most hurt by liberalism are the young people. Look, I'm almost 50. I'm established. I'm a lawyer in California. Things are great for me because I'm established, because I'm part of what the liberal establishment likes. But what about the young people? What about the people just starting out? When I got to L.A., I had a 1988 Chevy Beretta and my Army discharge papers when I started law school. But I wasn't afraid. I was excited because there was opportunity here. Now I hire young lawyers. They come out with $200,000 in debt. They have that anchor weighing them down because they bought into the liberal lie that, you know, a degree in feminist performance art is going to somehow get you anything other than a gig making coffee.
All right, so let me bring you to this now. Here comes an article from David Leonhardt at the New York Times who says, and I quote, among today's teenagers, Democrats do start with some big advantages. For one thing, the next generation of voters is an ethnically diverse group. About 45% of American citizens in their teenage years are either Latino or a member of a racial minority, compared with only 29% of citizens 20 and older. Those are the groups that are seen as being liberal. So how then do the punk rock conservatives go out and grab them when it is seen by many of these people, or at least we're told by the people who lead such groups, that they want nothing to do with conservatism?
Oh, well, look, these kids are experiencing the misery that liberalism brings, the lack of opportunity, the rigorous conformity, the constant nagging and hectoring and helicoptering over them. They get told what to do, where to go, what to think, what to feel. And then on the other side, you see the conservatives, and we're out there saying, do your thing. Be who you are. Use the opportunity that the Founding Fathers framework gave you to make a success out of yourself. Follow your dreams. We're exciting. We're fresh. We're new. We're not saying no. We're saying yes. But there's a cost. You got to be responsible for yourself. You got to take care of yourself. You got to support yourself and your family.
But how do you then change the perception? I mean, certainly your book is part of it, showing that future for the culture, but I have to keep coming back to the perception. I've certainly always been open to it. I think that you have to look at what the next generation is doing, how they're looking at what has gone in the past and what they may be looking for. But there remains that very, very high perception that you've got to be a liberal if you want to do all these things. So, and I will also say this. When you look at what's happening right now with the Republican Party, they're fighting amongst themselves, and a lot of young people don't want to get involved in that. So what do the Republicans then have to do to make that conservatism work publicly?
Well, well, we've got to, as conservatives, especially within the Republican Party, we got to figure out who we are. Are we the guys at giant corporations who want to set up a crony capitalist system where everybody else is just a cog in a machine? Or are we about entrepreneurialism? Are we about get out there and build your dreams, make what you want into reality using the tools the Founding Fathers gave us? Look, I'm a trial lawyer, and there's nothing I like better than when the other guy makes my case for me. And that's what Barack Obama's doing right now, with his conformity, with his NSA spying, with his Obamacare, with all these attacks on freedom of speech, freedom of religion. He's making the case for us, but we got to make it for ourselves too. We got to get out there and say, hey, this stuff about being some sort of bunch of nervous white guys, you know, the bad guys in Animal House stereotype, that's not us. That isn't who we are. That's who they want you to think we are. They want to control you. They want to scare you. We are not the minister in Footloose who wants to ban dancing.
So then, about a minute or so that I have left here, who's the guy right now who's leading the way? Is it, as some people have indicated, Rand Paul, because he's mixing libertarianism in with conservatism and maybe he's the new figurehead?
Well, there's a bunch of good examples out there, but I reject the idea that we need a leader. I'm an American citizen, just like you. I don't need to be led. I'm going to figure out what my abilities are. I'm going to figure out what my interests are, and I'm going to make the best out of those. It's like my friend Andrew Breitbart said, go out and figure out what you can do, how you can contribute. I figure I can write books, so that's what I'm doing. But I got a lot of friends who are doing podcasts, doing radio shows, getting out there organizing rallies. Even if you're just Facebooking to a few friends who aren't politically active, talking about things that support a conservative, traditional view of the Founding Fathers, you're making a difference. Figure out what you can do, and then go do it. You don't need a leader. You don't need to be told what to do. You're an American. Stand up and do it.
The book again is Conservative Insurgency. Real quick, 5 seconds. Which character in Animal House were you then?
I think I was Bluto.
All right.
Even though I became Niedermeyer in the Army.
As long as you weren't the guy, the Kevin Bacon character, remain calm. All is well. That'll be good. You're all right there. Hey, Kurt.
I'm like, get louder. It's going to hell.
I like that. There you go, man. Hey, Kurt, thanks a lot for your time, my friend. Excellent idea. We'll keep in touch with you on this as well.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Kurt, take care. Next up, moments of mirth, madness, and master disasters, and we will not be showing you Bluto. Well, maybe we can on MidPoint.